right. So that leads me to the next question. It's like, what are some of the misconceptions
for a young actor trying to get in?
Yeah, because you also touched on like you were mentored by a lot of legends, but then you say, there's a lot of shady business
when I
too.
say I wasn't mentored by a lot of legends, I knew them, and we would get together on personal levels more than anything. There's some really good people, but see, it's from the old school.
Okay.
The old school of Hollywood was a little different. Yeah, there was some dirt. Yeah, there's people who did some stuff. They hid some stuff. They put who they want in there. There's always the casting couch. That's never going to change. It's just gotten worse. So that's not saying there aren't good people. That's saying that it's highly skewed. And right now, I'd say 80-20. 80-20. I can count on 20% to still take care of me and make sure that I get the stuff that I want to do without having to compromise my morals and values. They reach out. I got a call. I ran into a producer one day. It was 10, 12 years ago. He goes, yo, man, your name came up at the studio today. I'm not going to say the studio, Warner Brothers, but he said, he said, your name came up at the studio, man, and it was a big movie, and everybody was like, yo, Randy Goodwin, Randy. Everybody said, yeah, Randy would kill it. But the big dog said, yeah, I know Randy. He won't drink with me. I don't trust him. I don't trust a man who won't drink with me. Well, this producer explained what that meant, because that's the first time that had happened to me, that I knew of. He said, because you won't drink, there's no chance of you ever getting drunk. There's no chance of you ever getting your drink spiked. There's no chance of you ever doing something that'll put you in a compromising position so that they can say, we got him.
Yeah.
This is the producer telling me this from the studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went, man, that stuff really happens, huh? He goes, more than you know. Now, I won't say his name. Yeah, wait. No.
Yeah.
I won't out him.
Okay.
Because there are also a lot of people who really take care of each other. And for him to tell me that, he could have lost his job if I would have opened my mouth.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a community feel. So unpack this a little bit for me. You kind of described these moments where you're meeting these legends. I mean, you've mentioned some names here, Michael Beach, and many more figures like that. I'm not the person to name names, but describe what it's like keeping your composure when you're acting among these people that you saw on TV, either growing up or in television prior to your career. How do you keep your composure as a young actor?
Because I've never gone to school for any of this. I mean, literally, I've never set foot in a classroom, pulled up a video. I was just always a very inquisitive, intuitive. I watch people. I'm a people watcher, man. I like going to the coffee shop, Coffee Bean in Hollywood, sitting at Whitsett and Ventura Boulevard, not far from the house, and I would just sit at the Coffee Bean on the street and just watch people walk by me, and I would just watch them and go, the way that dude's sitting. And I would just kind of morph into it, be like, I'd change the look on my face and do weird stuff that they're doing. And I would just watch and I'd say, the way that dude's sitting there. And I would just sit and watch people and just do different things, man.
Yeah.
See how people would respond to me.
Wow.
That was my education. I'm not saying I didn't learn, but I learned my way. So I didn't go to class. I didn't get into it. So when I first got on set, my thing was, I've never been on a real set.
Wow.
So I just watched. But I'll tell you, the first time I walked on, I wasn't terrified, but man, I was a little afraid when I stepped on it, because I was like, what if they realize I'm new?
Right.
And then I walked on, I went, of course they know I'm new, at least the people who brought me on. But then, like I said, I'm on there with Keith Carradine. I'm on there with dudes, man. We've been watching Kung Fu and all that stuff growing up. And I was like, so I acted like I'd been there before. But I also believed in my head and in my heart that I was the best actor in Hollywood. I walked in that way. I walked in saying, I will be the next Sidney Poitier. I walked in saying it, and I still believe it. But with the Morrises and the Tay Diggs and all these guys that continue to work, Hollywood goes after a specific type. They put you in. But if you have talent and you're persistent, they can't deny you. But they can keep you out of certain projects because this is my project. I don't want him in it. He won't drink with me, kind of thing. But like I said, holding to my beliefs, I have still made it.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you now, you will see one day after this interview, you're going to go, man, dude said he was going to be the number one. Watch.
I believe it.
I will.
I remember when we first met a few years ago at I think it was at the Chamber event.
Yeah.
I met. And
I'm sorry, I remember saying some things on the.
You remember that?
Yeah.
because people say crazy, they say crazy
Like, oh,
things, right? And I just remember just being like, "No, he's serious.
Yeah.
No, he's serious." And then I looked you up,
Right.
because you already had, your IMDb and those types of things. It was already rolling, right? Because this is well past your first gig. And I'm like, oh no, he's serious. Yeah, he's serious. And then we get the announcement that the funds are coming in. It's like I think we've got our icon for this space. That's the sense that I got. So, just expanding on that with the Fallen Giant. What made you decide? Because at this point, you have your career, you decades in. You've met the people, you know how the industry works. Why bring it back to Omaha? What's the purpose of that specifically?
Because of that moment. That moment, I said, Mom, Dad, I want to be an actor. And they said, you can't be. First of all, I was like, yes, I can. Second of all, I wanted to make sure no 8-year-old in Nebraska ever had to have that said to them. I will make sure. I wish. So, okay, the seminars when I came in were called Navigating Hollywood with Integrity and What I Wish I Knew. And that what I wish I knew, one of the main components of it is I wish I knew me back then so that I could help me. So I wanted to make sure that every 8-year-old had me to help them.
That's excellent.
So, and not just 8 years, old, anybody,
Yeah.
either one of you, anyone in this room who wants to be an actor, not just an actor. You want to be a cinematographer. You want to learn sound. You want to learn mixing. You want to be an editor. You want to build sets. You want to be a rigger, a gaffer. You can be anything in this business. There are so many jobs. I'm just the face that everybody wants to see, but there's 100 people behind me. I'm nothing without that 100 people.
Right.
So I wanted to come back and educate 100 people for every project we have.
That's excellent.
And if I have it my way, that's 1,000 people right there because I want 10 projects going on at the same time.
Yeah.
At all times, which is going to bring so much revenue to the state, which is going to create so many job opportunities.
Right.
I mean, to retain the young people that want to leave, I mean, where you going?
Right.
Hollywood's falling apart, man. And there's a lot of other locations. My boy Cat Williams, he just bought an old Army base, building a studio.
Oh, wow.
Tyler, he
Yep. Down in Atlanta.
he did the same thing, but then he sold that and built the big
second
boy.
one, yeah.
My boy Michael Jai White has one on the East Coast. I got my dudes Mel Gibson. I love Mel. Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg just partnered with Sony. They're building a $2 billion studio in Nevada. I mean, people are going everywhere. Taylor Sheridan, he left L.A. for Texas, where he's from, and look what he's doing down there. Man, he's basically the king of Paramount Plus right now.
It's big time.
So there is space to shoot outside of there. Hollywood, what most people don't realize isn't a place. Yes, there's the city of Hollywood there, but Hollywood is it's a business that can operate anywhere. It's like Fallen Giant can operate anywhere. We can shoot anywhere. I can hire anybody from any corner of the world. and still be Fallen Giant. It's just Fallen Giant is out of Omaha, Nebraska, which is where I always wanted it to be. I always wanted to come home. I love my state, man. I love my city. I'd rather be from no other country, no other state, no other city. I love Omaha, and I had to come back to take care of my people. Everybody, all the young people, they're my kids, they're my nieces, they're my nephews.
Yeah.
You know, what can I do? Yes, I'm in LA and I'm in Toronto and I'm wherever shooting whatever, and I'm making my money.
Mm-hmm.
What's that do for my friends who have their kids who want to be in the business?
Right.
What's that doing for my brothers and who have kids, my nieces and nephews, when they say, well, I would love to try acting. Well, they would only have the stage
Right.
here. And
Maybe a camera.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. And the stage, I love the stage. I don't do much stage because there's a reason. I was sitting with Mike Yanni and there's some other very well-known and well-to-do, powerful people in this city. And when I sit with them, I ask them all the same question, and it's the same response. I go, why do you give hundreds of millions of dollars in endowments to the arts? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we need them. Mm-hmm. I go, yeah, but why? Well, we need the arts. I go, yes, we do. Arts are awesome. But why do you have to give hundreds of millions every year to the arts? Well, Randy, because we have to help them. I go, but why? and it always gets to a point where I keep doing that.
Right.
And they start getting frustrated. Mm-hmm. I remember Mike finally he just goes, I mean, what are you saying? I go, why do you have to get, why do you get, he goes, because they don't make, I go, say it. Because they don't make money. I go, bingo. But you know what part of the arts does? Film and television. Mm-hmm. But yet none of you ever want to give us hundreds of millions of dollars in endowments every year. And I told him, if you gave me $100 million, you'd never have to give it to me again because I'd make $1 billion. Mm-hmm. Because we get returns on this.
Right.
The stage does not get returns, and those young people who are on stage want to get to where I am.
Yeah.
They want to use that so they can make money.
That's
they
true.
want to earn a living. They want to be able to do their craft and earn a living, and you can't do that on stage.
That's good.